Well, let's have a look at the athletes from the first heat. Matt Hudson-Smith, by the way, the European champion and bronze medalist at the World Championships, goes in heat 4 for England. There's the lineup: Geldenhuys of Namibia, Timbachi of Vanuatu, Anthony Cox of Jamaica, Solomon of Australia, Steve Solomon, watch him, Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, Desroy Jordan of St Vincent and the Grenadines, and Shea Lara of Trinidad and Tobago on the outside. So with only 3 non-automatic qualifier spots, let's make the first 3 or you're not going to make it through to the semis is really the message. There is Che Lara, 46.92 man this year. He'll be running blind. His personal best was last year, 46.4. In lane 7 for St Vincent and the Grenadines. He's actually the national 800 metres champion this year. Desroy Jordan, the 21-year-old, best of 47.76 this year. In 6, Kalinga Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, 3 times their champion and the reigning champion, set his personal best actually, but back on the 23rd of April. He hasn't raced since the middle of June. In 5, the very experienced Australian Steve Solomon, 8th in the Olympic Games in London 2012. Remember that, 10 years ago now. A semi-finalist in Tokyo last year, and he holds the Australian record for 400 indoors at 45.4. Good athlete. There's Anthony Cox of Jamaica. Had COVID in Eugene, but was able to compete in the heats of the 4x400 for his nation. Came 3rd in the Jamaican Championships earlier on this summer. There's Obedia Timbaki of Vanuatu. Went out in his heat for the World Championships, the 19-year-old, best of 52.85 this year, and that is his lifetime best. And then in 2 is Ivan Danny Geldenhuys of Namibia, 21 in a few days' time. The South African semi-finalist in the African Championships in Mauritius back in early June, but he hasn't raced either since early June, the 20-year-old Geldenhuys. 46.4 his best this year. Remember, the first 3 go through by right, so he'll be right on the cusp of it. Will even Danny Geldenhuys.
What's up, track lovers? Welcome back to this channel once again. So guys, some countries produce athletes. Jamaica, on the other hand, produces belief, because when Jamaica enters a track event, people are not only watching speed anymore, they are watching history continue itself. Which is why today we are looking at 2 different races with 2 different stories. The under 20 boys 110 meters hurdle final and the 400 meters heat. And trust me guys, after watching these 2 races, you will see something about Jamaica. Let's subscribe and watch, and then I'll be back with more commentary. Full credits to the original broadcasters of these 2 race footages. Thank you.
On your marks. Reigning champion is Makwala. He's up Makwala of Botswana. Indeed, his teammate Babaloki Thebe took out the silver on the Gold Coast back in 2018. So the first heat of 7 then. In the men's 400 metres, Geldenhuys in 2, Timbaki of Vanuatu in 3, Cox of Jamaica 4, Solomon of Australia in 5, the Sri Lankan Kumaraj in 6, Jordan of St Vincent and the Grenadines in 7, and Lara of Trinidad and Tobago in lane 8.
Set.
Well, qualifying from this should be a formality for an athlete of the calibre of Steve Solomon of Australia, but he'll want a solid run. He's in 5. They're right in the centre in the yellow with the greenish shorts, 4th from left at the moment, moving well down the back straight. And actually quickest away is Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, really quick through the first 200 in that blue strip. He's a 45.8 performer this year, but he leads at the moment by quite some margin. Solomon going okay right in the centre. Inside him, the Jamaican best of Anthony Cox is moving well around the second bend as they come into the straight. Kumaraj has given 101% through the first 300. Now he's chased down by the big figure of Cox, the Jamaican, who looks very strong for the last 50. Solomon follows him through, and he's under real pressure here for 3rd place, and I think he just loses out there to Geldenhuys from Namibia, who gets 3rd spot. It is the first 3, remember, who go through by right, and I think despite giving everything for the first 380, it was nearly enough. Kumaraj of Sri Lanka might just have got run out of it. It was very tight at the line. No doubting the strong finish and fine form of Anthony Cox. Maybe a little bit frustrated after not being able to give his all in Eugene a couple of weeks back because of COVID, but he wins in 45.51. That is only a couple of clicks outside his lifetime best from earlier on this season. And Steve Solomon, 45.98, a solid second for Australia. And it was even Danny Geldenhuys of Namibia who took third place, 46.51. Kumaraj will have to wait and see, but 46.53, I'm not sure it'll be quick enough. Desiree Jordan of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a personal best for him, significant leap forward, 47.29.
I was absolutely willing the Sri Lankan third from the left here as we look at it to get himself home in the top three. It was a really bold piece of running because he knew the likes of Cox of Jamaica and Solomon, who seems to have been around for a lifetime, made the Olympic final, must have been a teenager then back in 2012. The Sri Lanka knew that they would be coming and closing and that he'd start wading through treacle towards the back end of the race. Geldenhuys did really well to come through in lane 2. Good running by Cox, just off the podium in the World Youth a few years ago. So unlucky to get COVID in Eugene and not be able to perform at his best. It's a good run by Solomon there, and Geldenhuys out dipping Kumaraj. So the Sri Lankan will have to wait to see whether he can claim one of the 3 non-automatic spots. But remember, that's 3 non-automatic spots from 7 heats. Good running by Cox, third in the Jamaican national champs. Just to make it as any level of international in a Jamaican sprint event shows you the calibre of the man we've just been watching, just off the podium in the World Youth, and he'll be absolutely determined to remind everybody what he could have produced in Eugene had COVID not brought his aspirations at the Worlds to a premature end.
Well, there it is. You can see the fine form of Anthony Cox. Bottom of picture. Working hard with the arms there. And that is very nearly a lifetime best. And I think there's considerably more to come from the 21-year-old. Solomon of Australia in the dark glasses. Moving well, and you can see the effort from even Danny Geldenhuys. Here he is with about 40 to go. He's way back in 4th, but he keeps battling away. Kumaraj by far the smallest of the 4 in shot, just tying up the stride length going, the knees not coming up over the final meters, and he just gets out dipped by the Namibian, giving himself an early 21st birthday present in effect. There it is. Anthony Cox wins for Jamaica, 45.51. A lovely big capital Q beside his name. Steve Solomon likewise for Australia in 2nd place, and Geldenhuys of Namibia taking that precious 3rd spot by 2 100ths of a second of Kalinga Hua Kumaraj of Sri Lanka.
And of Grenada.
Now represents France, what was represented Portugal at the time.
Let's go through the lineup for this final. And we started lane number 1. He was 5th in the 400 hurdles, 3rd in his semi-final at 14.45. Shane West of Trinidad and Tobago. In lane number 2, 2nd in his semi at 14.3. Well, that's Tash Brown. He's in lane number 3, the Bahamian. Personal best 13.74 in qualifying, behind the record holder. There's the defending champion, Shaquane Gordon. Won the Commonwealth Youth Games title on this very track 2 years ago as well. He's a confident one. He's trying to repeat. On his outside, he needed a rerun to get into the final after saying he heard an echo in qualifying and stopped. He ran 14.21 in the rerun and now takes his place in lane number 5. There's the joint record holder with William Belosian, 13.23 seconds in qualifying this morning. Daniel Clark is the joint 6th fastest in the history of the Under 20 Boys 110 hurdles, and now he's trying to become Carifta champion. On his outside, Todavila Hicks the second of Haiti, 14.15 to get into this final, and closing out the field in lane number 8, representing Grenada, 14.65 to get here, Kyle Ned. That's the lineup. Tejon Webb of St. Kitts and Nevis should have been in lane number 2. He's a non-starter, and so we have 7 for this final. There's the defending champion, Shaquane Gordon, Commonwealth Youth champion on this very track 2 years ago. Twice, Clark and Gordon have met this season. Clark won at the Carifta Trials. Gordon repaid the favor at the Jamaican High School Championships. The Carifta Trials race was not close. The Champs race was. What will the Carifta race be like? Up they go. Shaquane Gordon got up well. Brilliant start from the Bahamian Tash Brown. Gordon now takes control. Daniel Clark is chasing him. Gordon and Clark, the defending champion, does it again. 13.16. Cometh now, cometh Shaquane Gordon. He holds on to his right hamstring, but he dances it out as he celebrates what I think is a new Carifta record in the under 20 boys 110 hurdles.
He struts into the record books. There it is.
13.19. Back to back for Shaquane Gordon. Remains unbeaten at the Hazlett Crawford Stadium and gets 2 in a row over Daniel Clark, who produces another spectacular effort. Goes faster than he did in qualifying this morning. Tash Brown ran brilliantly as well, I thought. 13.52 to take the bronze medal. Told you it would be a terrific race, and it really was. Here's another look at it. Shaquane Gordon somewhat slightly, I think, over that first hurdle, but composed himself brilliantly. Tash Brown going with the Jamaicans early. Gordon still with the lead here. Clark threatening late. The 2 Jamaicans fighting to the line, but it's Gordon who gets the victory at 13.91. And after being threatened so many times in the past, the Carifta record finally gone in the 110-meter hurdles for under 20 boys. Note that Gordon ran faster last year in Grenada, but it was wind assisted. The wind has been negative all afternoon. Would be a shame if it ended up being positive here, or too positive. Confirmation, negative 1.4 meters per second the wind speed. That confirms the Carifta record. 13.19 for Shaquane Gordon. Daniel Clark 13.21 completes the Jamaican 1-2. Tash Brown of the Bahamas in third at 13.
So Wagwan Jamaica. So hello everyone, I hope that you are all doing well. So kindly guys, if it's for the first time that you are coming across my video, feel free to share, comment, and also don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And for the returning ones, I want to appreciate you for the love and support that you are showing. So I hope that you have watched the entire race till the end. It was a very competitive and very beautiful race. So Jamaican has stood up yet again and showcased the world that in this track and field, you know, they are the beast in this track and field. You know, they will continue conquering. So you have seen that, you know, Jamaican has that winning spirit. Even you could see from before the race has started, the Jamaican just looked relaxed. They just looked like they were ready. You know, when your opponent just look relaxed, just know that he or she is ready. So Jamaican has really pulled out a good performance, and they have really made Jamaican famous. And not only Jamaican, us, you know here guys in Kenya, Jamaican has a big fan base. They have also made us happy, and I want to congratulate them. You know, that race showcased that Jamaican, you know some people are saying like Jamaican has luck, but you know, Jamaican has a good history of winning and dominating the track and field. We all know this guy, Usain Bolt. Although people are saying that he retired a bit early, you know, Usain Bolt really did a lot of things. He really broke a lot of records. He really set new record, and he had a a good pace. So Jamaican has a good history. Even Quilshire during that race, the commentator was like mentioning Jamaican most of the time, because Jamaican is a big brand, and when you are big, guys, all eyes are on you. On that race, Jamaican is a famous country, and when you have a race and there is Jamaican name on the list, many eyes, all eyes, are there watching, because they want to see, Jamaica, this Jamaican. Many people talk about it, this Jamaican has an history. People want to see for themselves. People want to see how Jamaican carry themselves. People want to see what does Jamaican do to win these races, because Jamaican for sure are the best in this track and field. And that's why I've come across a certain video, and I saw athletics nowadays, they try to hire coaches from Jamaican, because they have seen that defeating Jamaican is not easy. Some even go to an extent of traveling all the way from their European nation, all the way from their countries to Jamaica to train with the best, because they have seen defeating Jamaican is not easy. And that's I think Jamaican have really showcased the world that they are the best. They have some upcoming youths. There is this young youth called Brian Levon, and he is dominating back there in under 17, and that showcased that Jamaican is in safe hands. Jamaican will continue dominating more and more. We'll be hearing Jamaican name a lot of times, because we feel very happy seeing that Jamaican will be dominating in this track and field, when you have those young youths dominate. And I think Jamaican, many people are like they want to dig deep to see what Jamaican uses, but you see, Jamaican winning spirit is in it is in their genetics. It's like in their blood, because most of the Jamaicans, they keep watching, they keep learning from the best. When they see like Usain Bolt, how he works, when they see these big names like Sharika Jackson, Tia Clinton, Elaine Thompson, they want to be like them. So they train very good. They have they get some good experiences. So I want to congratulate those athletics, because they have really made Jamaican famous, and not only Jamaican, they have made us, the fan base outside the Caribbean, very, very happy. So guys, you can leave a comment. You can comment something to congratulate them, or even a word of prayer, so that God can protect them, because we want to see Jamaican winning a lot of gold. We want to see Jamaican winning more gold. So guys, if it's for the first time that you are coming across my video and you like this seeing about Jamaican, seeing these sprinters, see how Jamaicans carry themselves. Jamaican is a big brand, and many people are following about Jamaica. You can subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification, so that you can continue with this Jamaican chapter. So guys, before I forget, I want to appreciate you for the 1,000 subscribers, and I hope that you really enjoyed the video. So guys, stay safe, one love.